So you're looking to do your first gig, and there's a few things that you obviously need to do before you actually get in front of a crowd, and those stages can be quite daunting to someone who's not been in the music industry for very long. So today we are going to talk you through the process of getting your very first gig. Obviously, because this is your very first gig and it's going to be quite a nerve-wracking experience anyway, you're going to want it to be a support gig. You're going to want to support a local artist that has putting a gig on, and you can go on first and you can kind of learn the ropes and kind of get to grips with gigging, because it can be quite scary. So let's not jump into, let's do our own gig and let's hire out the arena and let's put on a show for 10,000 people. Let's take it step by step and let's get you a support gig for a decent local artist. The first thing that you need to do is you need to look into your local area and find a pub or a venue or a club that puts on gigs that seems suitable for your band. Obviously, this depends on the town that you're in. If you're in a town that's got a decent music scene, there's a chance that you've got a few venues to actually choose from. So there will be some catered to certain genres, and there'll be pop venues and metal venues and whatever. So have a bit of a research around your local area and actually see which venue might be best for you. Look at venues that do between 80 and 150 people. You don't want to be pushing too far. You don't want to be looking at arenas or 2,000 capacity venues. So just look at kind of the small pubs, venues, clubs in your area. There's a chance that at the place that you found, the venue themselves aren't putting on the gigs. There's a very high chance, because this is common industry practice, that there is a promoter for each of those gigs. To get a gig at this place, you will need to get in touch with the promoter. There's a few ways that you can find out who the promoter is if you don't know, and then obviously you can contact them. So look for a show at this venue. There's a chance that there's a poster for it. If there is, look on the poster and you will either see a load of logos at the bottom. One of them will probably be a gig promotion company, or sometimes at the top of the poster you will see a presents. That would be the promoter. So they will then have social media, or they'll have a website, or you'll be able to contact them by phone or email or whatever. That's one way of doing it. You could also find out a promoter if there isn't a poster or anything like that. If there's a Facebook event, or if there's a company tweeting about a certain gig quite a lot, chances are that is the promoter. Just do a bit of research, go into the venue itself and actually ask who does the promotion there. There's loads of different methods. Just try and find out who the promoter is. The next stage is to actually get in touch with the promoter. What do you say? How do you say it? We've written a bit of a kind of example paragraph of what you could say. Don't copy this exactly, but saying something like this will get you on the right track. Hey, I am in a rock band, and then you can put whatever rock band you happen to be in, and we are currently looking to book a show in Birmingham in June. Obviously, put what you actually are doing. We're probably looking to sell about 20 tickets. Here, make sure that you are being realistic. Don't bullshit your way and be like, we can sell 100 tickets if you can't sell 100 tickets. Be honest, because it will definitely hinder you if you lie, and people are fine with having a beginning support band that can bring 5 people. That's fine, that's normal. Just admit that you can only bring 5 people rather than bullshitting. Is there any chance that you have any gigs booked or planned that we could get on the bill for? Now, it is worth saying here that if you've done a bit of research into the venue and into this promoter, you might have seen a show that they're doing in 2 months' time that you would fit perfectly on the bill for. Rather than just saying, have you got any gigs for us? You could actually say, you're running this show, we sound like this, here's a SoundCloud link, it would be great to get on the bill. That kind of thing is great for a promoter, because you've done their job for them, and yeah, that's just really handy. Then sign off the email with, thanks, Jeff, or whatever. Just be polite, be kind, because that's the way to get anywhere in the music industry. As much as I'm saying here, email them. If you can get to one of their shows and actually talk to the promoter, that will get you a lot further than just emailing them. Actually being a part of the community and actually talking to the people that are going to help you, it puts a face to the name, and it will genuinely spark more opportunities for you and your band than just emailing. I get that this sounds a little bit like, it's just contacting a person, but seriously, the methods in which you go around contacting people and the way in which you do it will genuinely impact everything that you get from that person. Little side note as well, if you are willing to put in the effort to actually go and talk to people, this spreads further than just promoters. Like if you are talking to a local record label or anything a little further down the line, actually going and talking to them and having a conversation with them, even if you don't end up working with them, is way better than just emailing them and then being like, we don't fancy working with you anymore. If you've actually talked to them, then you will stick in their mind a hell of a lot better, and any opportunities that they may have further down the line, you will pop into mind a hell of a lot more than if you were just a person at the other end of an email. Hopefully, if you've done all that well, you will get an email back from the promoter being like, yo, I've got you a gig, or do you fancy playing this, or whatever. There'll be a few things that you need to do between accepting the gig offer and actually playing the gig. They include actually constantly talking to the promoter and maybe sorting out tickets. If you are selling tickets, there's a chance that you'll get a split of tickets if you are, so you might get £1 for every ticket that you sell. Generally, a promoter will want constant updates on how many tickets you have sold. Again, be honest, don't lie. Generally, if you don't sell tickets, they will want those back to prove that you haven't sold them or given them away. You will need a tech spec, and I'll not go fully into tech specs now. It is Googleable if you want to know what a tech spec is. We are planning on making a video on it. As and when we do, it will be up there. Other than the tech spec, that I think is pretty much it before the gig. Obviously, do promoting, get it around family and friends. It's your first gig, so get people to it. Create a bit of a buzz because it's the first opportunity anyone has to see you live. The only other thing I need to make you aware of is there will be a sound check or line check. A sound check tends to be you will turn up at a venue before the gig and you will set up all of your equipment, play a song so that the engineer can get levels and you can get the monitor levels and all that kind of stuff, and then you will pack back down and then play the actual gig. A line check would be you will go up 10 minutes before your set is due to start, and you will just make sure that all of the microphones are working and everything, and then the mix will actually be done during like your first song. Little bit scary you're doing that, and it tends to be festivals that use line checks instead of sound checks, but some gigs will too, so I thought I'd make you aware of it. If you are doing a sound check, you will 100% be asked to get to the venue before it opens. So if your gig opens at 7 o'clock, you might be asked to get there at 4 o'clock. Be aware of this when you're booking a gig. If you work until late, either let the promoter know that you won't be able to make it to a sound check before a certain time, or just don't book the gig if you work right up until the point the gig starts, because you will definitely need to be there a long time before any of the audience members are. Doing your first gig can be a bit of a scary task, so I hope that this helped a little bit. If you need any more help, please just comment and ask us. We are happy to help with anything that I mentioned in this video. It's very scary doing your first gig, so keep calm, breathe, you'll be okay. Just enjoy it, and we wish you the best of luck. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see any videos from this series, click over there. If you want to see our best of playlist, click over there. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Thank you very much.